Last week on MCrider, we asked the question, are you too old to ride? And that video got a huge response from the MCrider community, and it brought in a lot of new subscribers and members on the forums. Many of you expressed that you had made a return to riding, or you started riding later in life, or you wanted to, and so I thought it'd be a good idea to carry that video a little further and provide some tips, especially for the returning rider. Hey, if you're new here, my name's Kevin, and I release a weekly video here on MCrider focused on road skills or road strategy to help make you a better rider. If you are a current member of MCrider, I'm going to ask you to do something for me at the end of this video, so stay tuned in for that. I want you to help me out this week, and I'll ask you that at the end of the video. If I'm to be totally honest with you concerning my years as an MSF instructor, some of the riders who struggled the most in new rider courses were returning riders. It's not because they lack the potential to ride a motorcycle, but they lack the proper mindset. At the start of class or during the informal conversations before a class, a student would introduce themselves and say something like, I've been riding for years, or I'm getting back into riding, or the one I always liked, I just need to get legal. They needed that M endorsement so they could ride legally on their motorcycle and not fear the bike getting impounded. Early in my coaching, I'd hear riders say this, and I'd think, okay, this rider's going to be easy to work with. Later in my coaching years, a rider would introduce themselves in the exact same way, and I'd make a mental note to keep a close eye, even a closer eye on this rider. Returning riders struggled, and the cause of that struggle can often be found in the words, I just want to get legal. They weren't there to learn anything. They already knew it all. They had been there. Some of them had been riding before I was born, and they already had all the answers. I had one guy introduce himself to the class and talk about all of his many thousands of miles riding a motorcycle all over the U.S., only to be able to barely, and I mean barely, pass the writing portion of the skills test. I learned early on that people will be less than honest in introductions, but that the parking lot never lies. Now, I don't think these people were blatantly trying to deceive anybody. I think they had just had a very skewed perception of their riding ability. Or maybe they remembered their days when they were out riding on their motorcycle 25 years ago and didn't realize how much their skills would deteriorate after that long of a break from motorcycling. So be honest with yourself and realize in a lot of ways that you might be starting from scratch as a returning rider. Your skills might build quicker as a returning rider, but initially you might struggle. The best way to be honest with yourself is to enroll in a new rider course. And like I said, the parking lot never lies. Take a course, get out there and see what skills need to be refined or sharpened. There's no shame in taking a new rider course, and I've taken them multiple times. And I know some of the best riders in DFW who take a new rider course every year or two. You can always learn something new, and it will help you get your legs back under you, especially if you're a returning rider. Other options, if you feel good about your skills, are courses like Pro Rider. A friend of mine coaches Pro Rider in Dallas. Just Google Pro Rider Dallas to find him. Or you can take Ride Like a Pro with Jerry Palladino or one of his other coaches. Or Total Control is a good intermediate level course that I used to teach. Just do a Google search in your area. Put your zip code and put advanced riding classes and you might come up with something. If you dig in a little searching on Google, you might be surprised in what's in your area. Or as a last resort, go to a local motorcycle dealer and ask them if they have any suggestions. But take a course to get yourself reacquainted with riding. The next word of advice I have for you is to start with the right motorcycle. In the perfect world, the returning rider would start on a small to mid-sized cruiser or adventure bike. And you can find these on Craigslist and save yourself a lot of money for your first year of riding. It hurts the pride a whole lot less to drop that used bike in practice as well than your dream bike out on the parking lot. Then if you decide this is for you, you can go out and buy that dream bike. Returning riders often have the disposable income to buy whatever they want to when it comes to a motorcycle. And my advice is to buy what will help you be successful. A bank account full of money and a desire for the open road is not only a Harley salesman's dream, it's also likely to get you on the wrong motorcycle to start back with. So depending on how long it's been since you've ridden a motorcycle, understand that bikes have continued to evolve over the years. They're much faster today than they were just a few years ago. When I was first riding, a 750 was a huge motorcycle. Today in the U.S., a 750 is considered a small to mid-sized motorcycle. The weight of the motorcycles have continued to come down, horsepower and torque have increased, and the motorcycles of today can often run rings around the bikes of just a few generations ago. Do your research and buy the right bike for you. Everybody pictures the right motorcycle, but think less about the proper gear. For me, a full-face helmet, riding jacket, gloves, over-the-ankle shoes or boots is the bare minimum for proper protection. If I'm going to be riding for the day, I'll add a pair of riding pants to the mix as well. But most importantly is to find a motorcycle helmet that fits you. You don't have to buy the most expensive helmet on the rack, but you don't want the cheapest one either. But neither helmet's going to do its job if it doesn't fit you properly. So spend some research time and find the right helmet. A local shop is the best option for it because you can try out a lot of different helmets. If you're local to the DFW area, go to Moto Liberty in Dallas. Just do a search for them. It's one of the best local shops around here for gear. If you live in the country, take a trip to a nearby city, but you want a place that offers options. Not all helmets are going to fit the same, and you need to find the right one for you. Now for me, I like showy helmets. They fit me well, they offer good protection and good value in my opinion. But what works well for me may not work as well for you. If you do have to buy online though, one of the best online providers is Revzilla. If you go to MCrider.com/Revzilla, you can help support MCrider with any purchases you make there. And Revzilla offers many items with free shipping, and they have a generous return policy if you order something and it doesn't work right for you. Add to the helmet the other protective gear you need, and you'll be better protected in the case of a crash or a tip over. You know, there used to be some common phrases that resonated in riding. Things like you had to lay the motorcycle down to avoid a crash, or the quickest way to stop is to lock up the rear tire and modulate the front, or that the use of a helmet is actually more dangerous than not wearing one because of the weight of the helmet causes neck injuries. Now, these are just a few of the old myths that were often taught to riders, and some of these old myths are still believed today. And that's why it's important for returning riders to enter back into motorcycling with the mindset of a new rider. Be open to learn, make sure you expose yourself to as many learning opportunities as possible. Some of the ways that you can do that is taking a class, we mentioned taking training, also reading good books. You can go to MCrider.com/books and see a list of books that I recommend to any rider, training books and things that will help you get started on the right foot. Make sure and use all the videos available on MCrider. And I've been at this for a few years now, and I've got a lot of videos in the library. Just go to YouTube and search for MCrider braking or MCrider cornering or MCrider gear and see what videos are already available. Just search for the term MCrider and whatever question you might have, and there's likely to be a video or two already on that subject. The final way is to support MCrider and get access to the forums and the field guide. The forums are searchable, and they're a condensed encyclopedia of rider knowledge and experience. Not only knowledge from me, but from other riding instructors, experienced riders, and new riders alike. It's a family-friendly format with a bunch of riders whose primary goal is to help each other become a better, safer rider. You can go to MCrider.com/support, and you can learn about becoming a member. I really believe the combination of MCrider on YouTube, The field guide and the forums is one of the best resources on the web for riders who want to improve at their craft. So I'm going to ask you for something a little bit different here. If you're a member of MCrider, I want you to leave a comment below. Tell us where you're from, introduce yourself, and in a few words, what you think about MCrider and if the combination of the forums and the field guide have been beneficial to you. I want everyone else who's been debating membership to hear directly from the members of MCrider and what they think about their membership here to help them make an informed decision about becoming a member. So if you're watching this video somewhere else, like on Facebook or Twitter or even MCrider.com, you can go to MCrider.com/testify, and that's going to forward you directly to this video on YouTube. And I want you to leave a comment about your membership experience with MCrider. The good, the bad, the ugly. Tell us what you think about your experience with MCrider, and hopefully that will help a few other people determine whether or not it's for them. For those who aren't members, I look forward to hearing from you as well, so leave a comment below. But I do hope to see you on the forums as well. Until next week, guys, this is Kevin with MCrider, and I'll see you on the road.